Hello and welcome back. Let's continue with our terminal report and cumulative record worksheet. So I will open my previously saved Excel workbook. Then we'll quickly take a look at how best we can use small and sum functions, that is by nesting them to give us the aggregate. So you just tell the system to go through a range and pick the smallest values and add them to give us our aggregate. So I'll use this opportunity to explain how this will be done. So let me go to my grading system and subject. Then I'll use this to explain before I get into the details. So assuming we have about probably 11 subjects. So English language, the student got 1. Mathematics was 1, data science was 3, this was a 2, this was a 4, a 2, a 4, a 2, a 1, a 1. So we are looking at the best 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So we have 4 now. So 4 plus 2 is 6, plus another 2 is what? 8. So let's see how we can use a simple formula for that. So we use what we normally call small. So small is a function that picks the smallest value and adds them. So we use it is equal to sum. We want it to sum. Then we are looking at the small function. So what array are we talking about? So we want you to look through this and give us the smallest word value. So we use a curly bracket. So we want you to sum the smallest value of 1, the first smallest value, you pick the second smallest value, you pick the third smallest value, you pick the fourth smallest value, you pick the fifth smallest value, then you pick the sixth smallest value. Then we close the curly bracket and I'll close this and I'll hit what enter. Okay, you've entered too many arguments. Okay, the array, the key, let's see. So this is our array. Okay, then I will use if error. So sum, we pick the small. So value if error space this that. Okay, entered so many function arguments, and let's see. Okay, what is happening here? Let me correct it. Okay, so let me pick it one after the other. So I'll go to formulas. Let me use a function argument to help with this. Small. So we're all learning. You need to understand it. So where is the array? Okay, so I'll pick the array. So k is the position from the smallest in the array or range of the value to return. Okay, so I'll look at the first smallest value. Then I'll click on what? Okay, so it gives me 1. So if I pick the second, if I use the third, that's not what I want. So I'll go back to the function argument. Then I'll select the curly bracket. I want the first, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, and the sixth. And then I'll just do it, close it. Okay, then I'll come in here and use the sum. So we are summing all the smallest values. I'll hit enter. So you see we get an 8. So I should have done it step by step. That is it. So if I change this to 1, 1, 1, and you're looking at 6 of them, automatically you get aggregate 6. So if I change this to 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, automatically we get what? 16. 4 6s or 24. So if I make this one, it will pick, then give us our aggregate. Good. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to pick this number. That is, if you are working with the basic school, you use this formula for this particular exercise. So it's as simple as ABC. Good. So I'm going to highlight this formula. I'll cut it. Then I come to my TR1. Then I come and paste it here as my aggregate. So we need to change the range. So the range is not this. So the range should look at the aggregate for all of these. So for the basic school, this is what you do. Then you hit enter. So automatically you get 54. So that is for basic school. But if we are talking about the senior high school, where they look at English, math, science, or social studies, depending on the program or the course. So if it is general science, we can have subject one as English, math, science. So general science students would have to sum this and pick the best 3 out of the lot. Good. So I'll copy this formula and come and paste it here. Then we look at the other alternative. So instead of going this route, we will change this. Okay. We will change this and ask the system to pick. So English, math, science, social, probably PE. So the other electives will start from 7. So you pick from subject 7. Then you tell the system to pick the best what? 3. So you have to come in here and change it to the best 3 like that. So then you come in here, then you select English, math, science, which is constant. So this plus that plus that plus this like that. So once you do that, it will also pick English, math, science and pick the best 3 of the electives and get you the aggregate. So these are the 2 instances. So if it is basic school, it is straightforward. You just select the entire range, then automatically the system will go through and pick the best one. 4. So if I come in here, English, math, science, the person got 1. I change this to 1, 1, 1. Then from 7, 8, and 9, this is 1, this is 2, and this is 2. Then automatically the system will give the aggregate of 8. So I will undo, undo, undo. So depending on the school you are creating for, please make the proper adjustments. Good. So assuming there are some blanks in there, you can add the if error condition. If error, then I'll do this, then I'll do inverted commas, then a space, then I'll close it. I'll hit enter. So this is for basic school. So if I'm doing it for, I'll do a double click to go to the last person. So that grade is 54. So as and when we start entering the scores, the aggregate keeps changing and the system will automatically be calculating the overall aggregate for each student. So this is how you deal with the aggregate. So practice with it, try to make changes and work on that. So this is for basic. So I'm designing for senior high school. So what I'll do is I will ignore the if error. Then I'll concentrate because we have English, math, science, social. So from social studies, we have PE, we have ICT. So obviously the remaining subject will start from, electives will start from 7 to 10. So I'll need to change it from CB to CH. So I'll come in here and change it to CH. So I'm designing for senior high school. So CH is like that. Then I'll remove my if error. I'll remove my if error condition. Okay, so we are summing this. Okay, I'll remove my if error condition. Then I'll come and pick the best, the English, math, science, social. So I'll just come and click on subject 1, which is English, plus subject 2, which is mathematics, plus subject 3, which is what, social. So if the next class happens to be science, then I will ignore this and use that. And that's how you adjust the formulas. So after you've done this and you want to bring the if error, I'll bring it like that. Then inverted commas, close it. Then that solves it. Because if I don't, it will give me an error. So assuming I take the if error condition out of this equation, okay, like this, and I hit enter, you see, so there's a problem there for me. So let's see. So it's some small. Okay, this would not work for me. So what I'll need to do is to create two different instances, like inserting a column Alt IC just to calculate AGG1. Okay, so this one will be equal to this plus this plus that. That is one way of looking at it. So this is just 27. So I look at Alt IC, then I'll do AGG2. Then I can look at is equal to, so I'll come here and pick the small function. So these are various ways of looking at it. Okay, I'll remove this. I'll remove that. Okay. Okay, I'll close it. Then I'll pick this particular function, copy. Then I'll come and paste it here. So I'll be looking at AGG2, which should start from subject 7. So subject 7 should be CH on row 2, like this. Then CL on row 2, like that. Then I'll pick the best 3. So it means that out of that range, I'm picking the smallest values within that range. So once I finish, then I can do it is equal to this plus that, and that should give me the aggregate. So I'm designing for senior high school. So we have the AG1, which will sum, because that is constant, English, math, science. So we've gotten the aggregate for that, whether the person performs well or not, whether you get a 9 or a 2, the system should pick those 3. It's constant. Then we come to the second aggregate bit, which looks at your best 3 electives. So that's the formula. So once you've gotten those 2, you add them, then you get your aggregate. So I'm going to do an autofill double click. So I think you should do same like this. So it's as simple as that. So please do that. Insert 2 columns. Have 1 for the first aggregate, 2 for the second aggregate. Then you can add a 2. But if you are working with junior high school, like I said, then you just have to use some small, select the entire range. Then you pick up to what, 6. So it is as simple as that. So if you're working with basic school, there's a formula you use. So you say sum, then you pick small, then the range. So the range now becomes this entire range. Then you only need to do 4, 5, and what, 6. That's it. So if you're working with basic school, that's the formula you use. But if it is for senior high school, you need to create 2 columns, aggregate 1, aggregate 2 for senior high school. But if it is basic, just the aggregate, then use this formula and you're good to go. So I'll hit escape. So I'm looking at a bigger picture here, looking at the senior high school system as well. So you now know how to do it for basic school using the formula I just explained. Then if you want to do it for senior high school, you need to pick the first 3 core subjects and the best 3 electives with their respective formulas. You add them, then you get this. So it is as simple as A, B, C. So that solves our aggregate formula. So now let's look at how to insert our various averages for each of the terms. Okay, before we think of duplicating this TR into TR 2, 3 up to 9. Okay, so cumulative record, we have subject 1, subject 2, subject 3. So we need to have an average for this. So Alt IC, then the column is inserted. So this is sub 1 AV1, which is for the first academic year. Then I come here, Alt IC. So if you are dealing with 2 semesters, then you need to insert the average here, the column there. So this is still sub 1 AV2. Okay. Then I'll go to Alt IC sub 1 AV3, and this is what WAEC will need when they get to Form 3, and it needs to be sent to them for the student before they can write their BEC or WASI. So Alt IC, then I'll do sub 2. So we have to be consistent, sub 2 AV1, then Alt IC again, then I'll do sub 2 AV2 for the second academic year, then Alt IC sub 2 AV3, Alt IC sub 2, so this one becomes sub 3 AV1, and I go to the next, Alt IC sub 3 AV2, then Alt IC sub 3 AV, sorry, okay, this is still sub 3, yeah, sub 3 AV3. Okay, then we go to sub 4, Alt IC sub 4 AV1, Alt IC sub 4 AV2. So Alt IC sub 4 AV3, good. Then we come Alt IC sub 5 AV1, then Alt IC sub 5 AV2, then Alt IC sub 5AV3. So I need to keep going. Then we look at sub 6. So Alt IC sub 6 AV1. Then Alt IC sub 6 AV2. Then we move on to sub 9 because we want to insert a column where it is positioned. Once you do Alt IC, it will insert it before. So we need to go to this before we do Alt IC. So sub to insert it, normally insert it to the left of your current position. So we look at sub 6 AV3. Then we go to sub 7. So Alt IC sub 7 AV1. Then Alt IC sub 7 AV2. Alt IC sub 7 AV3. So I go to sub 8. Alt IC. Okay, let me sub 7 AV2. Sub 7 AV3. Okay, then we go to sub 8. Okay, so Alt IC sub 8 AV1. And I move on to the next. Alt IC sub 8 AV2. Alt IC sub 8 AV3. Then I go to sub 9. Alt IC sub 9 AV1. Alt IC sub 9 AV2. Alt IC sub 9 AV3. Alt IC sub 10 AV1. Alt IC sub 10 AV2. And then we go to Alt IC sub 10 AV3. And I go to sub 11. Alt IC sub 11 AV1. Alt IC sub 11 AV2. Then we have the final one, sub 11 AV3, like that. Okay, so we're finished with this. So I need to go down, 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 and apply borders. And I believe it has been an interesting journey with developing our terminal report system with just Excel. Then later we look at using Microsoft Word to perform a mail merge. Then we finally conclude with how we can send this via email to their parents using Outlook. So this is how powerful the Microsoft Office suite is. And when you complete this program, I would encourage you to enroll on the Microsoft Office Specialist course so that you can learn more about the application's features straight from Microsoft. It has really helped me a lot in my journey because I read economics and geography at the university, and I said, why not branch into IT and these, globally recognized programs has really equipped me with a lot of skills, and I want the same for you. So just hang in there, take my time to go through it, then we work it out. Okay, so we finished with that. So let's look at how best we can look at the various averages. So if I want to find the average, I'll say it is equal to average. Okay, then I'll look at the average for this, comma, I'll click, comma, then I'll close it, then I'll hit enter. Okay, so if I start putting in values, 15, you say 20, and this is, let's say, 80, automatically it gives me the average for the 3. Okay, so once it's deleted, but I don't want to see this, so I'll use if error, then open inverted commas, you hit the space bar, you do save, you close it, you hit enter. Now the formula has been sorted. Good. So this is for subject 1. Then I'll go to the average for the second is equal to average. So the average for the second should capture the average for all the 6 terms, that is for the second academic year. So this, comma, this, comma, this, comma, but I'll skip this and come to this, hit, I'm sorry, I'll hit, okay, hit this and come to the third one. Oh, good. Then I'll just close it, hit enter. Then I'll bring my if error, open a bracket, close it, inverted commas, space, close it, enter. Then I'll just do a double click, and that has been sorted. Then I'll go to the third one. So for the first one, so it's equal to, then I'll pick average like this, and I'll go and start with subject 1, then comma, subject 2, comma, subject 3. It is still subject 1 third term, then subject 1 fourth term, you click, comma, fifth term, come to sixth term, then subject 7, subject 8, then you have subject 9, like that. Then I'll just close it. Then I'll just come in here, do my if error, open the brackets, I'll close it, inverted commas, space, inverted commas, closed, enter. So I finished with my first set. So let's see if copying this will make it easier for me. So I'll do Control C. Okay, let me bring Control C to copy this. Then I'll go and paste it at subject 2 AV1 to see if it will work. Subject 2 AV1, let me paste it and see what's going to happen. Let me pick it. Good. Easy peasy. So we are done. Good. Then I'll just do a double click. Then go and pick, I think I have to copy and paste the entire range. That would be appropriate. Okay. So in order not to waste time, I'll select this entire range and paste. And the system will automatically pick the ranges for me. So I'll do a Control C. I come here, I'll do a paste. Let me check if it works. Good. And I go to the next average. Automatically it picks it. Oh, that's the beauty. That's the beauty of Excel. I'm loving it. Yeah. Good. So we need not to do the heavy lifting, right? So we pick subject 2. So we pick from here subject 2.1 through to subject 2.9, and their average. Control C to copy. Then I'll just paste. Go to the last bit of it. Come to the fourth. I'll just paste. I'll go to the fifth. Control V to paste. I'll go to the sixth. Control V to paste. And I come to the seventh. Control V to paste. Then I come to the 8, Control V to paste. And I come to the 9th, Control V to paste. And I come to the 10th, Control V to paste. And I go to the 11th, Control V to paste. Good. So let's check everything is in order here. So I'll just come and do an autofill. So AV, I look for the next AV. I'll do the autofill, go through, pick the next AV. I'll do the autofill. So it works like that. Pick the next AV, do the autofill. Pick the next AV, the autofill. The next AV autofill. The next AV autofill. Next AV autofill. Next AV autofill. Next AV. Okay. So like that. So you find the next, you just do a double click, you use autofill. Then it fills the formula to the last student. Good. So do the autofill. Okay, double click. Double click. Double click. Double click. And double click. We do a double click. And a double click. Backspace. Using the left arrow key, double click. Left arrow key to go to the next AV. So once you get there, you see the formula in the formula bar, you just do a double click. Double click. Double click. Double click. Double click. Double click. Okay, so that solves my AV problem. So let's double check. Okay, this is fine. Just to make sure that we're on the right track. This is also fine, because you cannot afford to make mistakes. Okay, I selected everything. Then you go to AV1. Okay, this is also fine. To make sure double and a triple check, because once you make a mistake here, your entitlement report system is flawed. So you click within it to make sure that the appropriate cells have been selected for the results. Okay, so it picks subject 3, we go to 4. Okay, then we go to this subject 4. Okay, that's pretty much solves it. Okay, That's better. Okay, good. I'll take my time to go through it just to make sure. I know it's 100%, but we are learning, so we also need to go through that same process for you to understand how this whole thing works. And we get to a part where we do our meal mate, then you'll be like, wow, so this thing actually works. Yes, it works. It works. So sometimes I find it worrying when institutions are paying huge sums of money to developers for a terminal report system where you already have Microsoft Office on your system for free. So you just need to be innovative, think outside the box a little bit, use the formulas, and create solutions for your business. So once you understand this concept, you can think of trying it on creating inventory. Payroll can be done with Excel. So why do you have to go look for a programmer to develop that? So I think of developing that in my next masterclass. After I've done it, then I'll teach it. Then you're welcome to join anytime. Okay, so we finished. So this is all that we need for our terminal report. So we have our aggregate, we have our class average, we have the student average score. Okay, grand total for the students. We have class average, and then we have student average score. So I think we are done. We have the grand total score. Then we can even think about automating the system for the remarks, but we will just leave that for now. Then later, as we move on, we'll think about how best we can automate it so that when the system sees a particular score, it will give us a particular remark. So we fully automate it. Class teacher, form master, headmaster, or mistress need not to be writing on the report. So we will look at that, but not in this particular lesson. Okay, so let me look at the number of minutes. So I'm almost at 37. So I'll end it here. Then we will continue in our next lesson how we will duplicate these terminal reports into 9 different reports, then link them appropriately. So thank you very much, and God bless. And please continue to practice. That is what's going to make you perfect. And if you encounter any challenge, you know my number. You can call me. We can do a remote desktop connection using AnyDesk software to help you with the formulas if you are having difficulties. Thank you. God bless.